You're listening to The Last Diet Experience. I'm Lizzy Havitz, and I lost 20 pounds without any typical diet and have effortlessly kept it off since. What I discovered was not just permanent weight loss, but a journey of health, self-love, joy, and personal growth. And I'd like to bring you along so you can do it too. In this podcast, I will share what I did to lose weight and keep it off while never having to count calories, white knuckle hunger, and especially not having to give up my favorite foods. It's definitely not the normal path. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Last Diet Experience. Today, I have my guest is also my coach, Jen Lemke, who is a NLP practitioner and a subconscious rewiring ninja who, works out magic. We're going to talk about that and how it relates to weight loss. All right, Jen, I'm very excited to have you here. I'm going to pass the floor to you so you can give us a little blurb about yourself and what do you do? Who are you? And go ahead.
Tell me all the things.
Tell me all
Well,
the
first of all,
things.
thank you for having me. I was really excited when you asked me to be on your podcast because, of course, I would love to be on your podcast. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh.
My name is Jen Lemke. I'm a certified success coach and NLP practitioner, and I help online experts remove subconscious blocks that keep them from growing their online business. I know your podcast obviously is about weight loss, and I actually started in the health and fitness field. Let me back it up a little bit. Okay, so I was an esthetician, which is another commonality that we have. I was an esthetician for 13 years, and I was always into health and fitness. I always worked out. I went to the gym, all that thing. It's so funny. I just thought about it. I used to eat cremette noodles.
What is that?
Because I would look on the back of the box and it would say 0 fat.
Oh.
And I was pounding myself with pasta back in the day without even realizing pasta is carbs.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was I was working at a doctor's office. I was doing the whole skincare thing, and a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to work out with her online. I'm like, sure, whatever. Next thing you know, I'm in network marketing. I don't know how it happened, but I'm in network marketing and I'm helping other people get healthy and fit using workout programs. It was really easy. It was super fun. It was like an outlet that I didn't have in my life, and I was really good at it. And so one day, my then boyfriend, now husband, and I woke up pregnant, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going to do this thing now. And so what had happened is within a couple years of building my network marketing business, I had grown it to surpass my aesthetics income. And so that's kind of where I saw myself going anyway. Like I wanted the whole work from home thing. I was going to be the stay-at-home mom, work in the business in the bedroom and nap time hours and all this. So I retired from aesthetics. I went all in on my network marketing business. And I saw, like, I wanted to walk the stages. I was going to go on the trips. I was going to have the huge team and all these things. And then I had my son. And so I love him more than life itself. And he was a crappy sleeper. And how I saw me building my business from naps didn't happen because he didn't nap like I was told infants nap. And so I got myself into this place where I was working every single second of every single day that I was with him and that I wasn't with him. And I got myself into a place of being totally attached to success. I was on a downward spiral. I wasn't depressed, but my business started to tank. And because my income started to tank, I started to tank. And if I can't even help my clients, let alone lead my team. And it just got into a really bad place. And so he was probably 3 or 4 it was 2020. It was when COVID happened. And so he was finally in half-day school. And so I told my husband and I said, as soon as he goes to half-day school, I will finally have time to work my business. And so he goes to half-day school and then COVID happens. And then half-day school is taken away from me. And so I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm losing my ish and I need help. So I hired a coach. And within 2 weeks, the clouds parted and the sun started to shine through. And I'm like, this is what life is supposed to be like. I came out of my like mini depression, I guess. And I came up for air and I wouldn't say I changed right then and there, but it's so funny because a couple years prior to that, it was like a late night breastfeeding session. I was in the rocker, 3 a.m., scrolling on Instagram or whatever, or some
Mhm.
social media website or whatever. And I found like I was into mindset as it was. Like I feel like I read the most books out of everybody that I knew, all the personal development books. I was listening to the podcast. I was doing all the personal development things because I loved it.
Mhm.
But I knew that there was something that I was missing and I couldn't figure out what it was. I had planned on I found neurolinguistic programming on that late night breastfeeding session and I was like, "What? This is it's like mindset on steroids." I'm like, "I am all in. I'm dialed in. I couldn't read enough about it. Like I was literally eating it." And I'm like, it was so interesting to me because I was such a mindset dork as it was. I'm like, it's everything that I've been looking for. And so the thing with my clients, my health and fitness clients is like I could give two people the same exact product. They could both want to lose X amount of weight, the same amount of weight. One person would run with it and get amazing results, and the other person wouldn't even open the box.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is it? And because I knew it wasn't me and my coaching because I got people really, really good results.
Uh-huh.
And so I felt like there was just this missing piece of the puzzle. And I was going to use neurolinguistic programming to figure out what it was because I knew that it was something mindset related, but the tools that I had, I couldn't help them. And so the whole point of me getting certified was to not only learn more because I just loved it, but I was going to help my health and fitness clients to be able to get out of their own way and help them become more successful. So it's so funny how, I signed up for the certification and it's like I had no time to go to the bathroom, clean the house or do the dishes and grow my business, but all of a sudden I'm going to find time for the certification. So I it put it in the back burner. I'm like, I'll do it one day, someday kind of thing. And it's funny when I hired a coach, he asked me what I really wanted. And I'm like, I don't want to be in network marketing more. And I want to be a coach. I want to coach people. I want to know every single thing there is to know about neurolinguistic programming. And I want to help people with their mindset.
Mhm.
Done. End of story. And it's so funny because before I couldn't find time to even open the book.
Mhm.
But when a coach asks you what you really want and gets you really specific on that outcome, I was like, well, yeah. And so all of a sudden I studied 180 hours in a month, whereas the previous 2 or 3 years, like I couldn't even find time to read the first page.
Right.
So I got certified, I learned all the things, and I just started helping people from there. So that was a really long version of a short story.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about your
Yeah, that's
story.
how I got to where I'm at.
Anyway, well, yeah, that I hear your story is I've been following you, not like a stalker, but like just your social media, and I've heard your story, and it's very motivating because I feel I'm in that type of I don't know path, which probably is part of what led me to find you and connect with you. But okay, what I want to know is like what you do is what you call it subconscious rewiring, and that's
Mhm.
your all your tools, your neurolinguistic and your mind. I don't know Jedi stuff in action to help people go from I can't even open the first page of this book to doing 100 and some hours in a month of a whole course.
Mhm.
Like, okay, subconscious, and you call it subconscious rewiring. What is it? Like in like, tell it to me as if I'm like a 10-year-old girl just trying to figure out what the world is.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so you know how you want to do something and you're really, really excited and motivated to do it, and then you do it for a week, and then it's not fun anymore, so you stop?
Mm-hmm.
I am that person that helps you to stop stopping in the simplest form. Simplest form. So when, neurolinguistic programming, like what the heck is it? Neuro is the brain, linguistic are the words that you use, and programming is how things are programmed into you from an early age.
Mhm.
And so when I am coaching clients, I'm not only listening to the words they use because it's really, really indicative into what they're feeling and thinking without them having to tell me, but I also dig into their map of reality,
Mm.
which means why do they believe what they believe? Why do they think the way they think? Why do they have the patterns that they have? And a lot of the times, most of the time, it happens, it's programmed into who we are. Between the ages of 0 and 7 is when our brains are sponges, and that's when we learn all the things without questioning anything because our brains aren't grown enough
Mhm.
to be able to question what's right or wrong. So society, our parents, who we spend the most time with, teachers, television, all those things are programming us when we're young, and then we take that time in our lives and then we enter, mini adulthood, like we're maybe, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever.
Mhm.
And then what we do with that is like we start to form who we are as people in that young age. And then we go into adulthood with these patterns and behaviors and thoughts that were given to us by other people at a young age where we were not in charge of whether or not we believed it to be true.
Mhm.
It's just who we became. So then we go into adulthood and we're trying to grow a business, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. And we've got, 30, 40, however many years of past experience of failing, of being scared, of this, of procrastination, of all these things. And so that's why a lot of the times when I coach people, it's like they've got this background of not being successful based on past experiences of what they have been able to not able to achieve in the
Mhm.
past. And so when I say subconscious rewiring, okay, so let me break it down a little bit. This is probably getting way more than what you wanted to know.
Oh, no,
You've
tell
got two
me.
parts of your mind. You've got more than two parts of your mind. I could talk about this for hours. You got two parts of your mind. You've got your conscious mind, which is responsible for the thinking and the analyzing.
Mhm.
And you've got your subconscious mind, which is responsible for everything else. It's responsible for your eyes blinking, the blood flowing in your body, like all the things that you're not responsible for, the things that are on autopilot. So the way you get out of bed every morning, how you make your coffee every morning, it's just on autopilot. And so what most people don't know is your conscious mind is your goal setter, and it's responsible for only 5% of your results. Meanwhile, your subconscious mind is your goal getter, and it's responsible for 95% of your results. And so when people are going around in life and they're setting goals with their conscious mind that's only responsible for 5% of their actual results, not even realizing that 95% is actually driving the vehicle.
Mhm.
And so when I work with clients, it's like we start working on that 95% that's either in their way or, hesitation or the procrastination, the self-sabotage, all that stuff. We work on that 95% because if you're not working on that 95%, you're leaving so much untapped potential on the table.
Mhm.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes, makes absolute sense. Now, I'm imagining you doing this with all these people. Has there been a story, like someone that really made an impact in you because of the change they made?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about you. Should we talk about you for a second?
Oh.
When we first started working together, you were procrastinating, you were hesitating, you were doing busy work
Mhm.
and neglecting the needle moving activities.
Mhm.
And when we started working together, you got super clear on your goal,
Yeah.
why you wanted it, what it did for you when you had it, and you got aligned to that goal. And within, what was it, 3 weeks of working together, you
Uh,
got your first 5 clients.
oh yeah. Yes. It was
You got your first 5 clients. Yeah. And previous to that, you were not doing any of that stuff. And
yeah.
so what was it about you that got you out of your own way? It's just tightening little screws here, hammering little things here, and like tweaking things here, and all of a sudden you just did the thing.
Right, right. And I still feel like you tricked me into into launching. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I bamboozled you into
You
launching. Yeah.
bamboozled me.
There's a
No,
right?
but how has that, like, seeing that impacted your life? That's what I want to get to. Because it's true. Like
Because
I
I
went.
mean, seeing my clients get results, it's like how could I not love that? Like when I
Mhm,
see my clients get results, like that's why I do what I do.
mhm,
There's another story of a client that I worked with, Megan, and she was in network marketing. She was selling her offer. She was I should say lightly selling her offer. She wasn't loud and proud about it at all because she
mhm,
was worried about what other people would think.
mhm,
And every time she would go to post on social media or do a story or anything like that, there's a fear in the back of her head like, people don't want this. I'm selling is gross, and all those kinds of things.
mhm,
And so when we trace that pattern back, it actually started when she was 7 or 8 on the playground, and there was a bunch of girls that were playing, and Megan wanted to play with them. And for whatever reason, the girls said no, and it made Megan feel like crap. And so at that time, Megan decided that people don't want me. People don't want what I have. I'm not good enough. Um, I'm going to get rejected. I don't want to get rejected anymore. And
mhm,
so her little 7, 8-year-old brain took that to mean those things about herself. So now that she goes to build her own business, she's got these thoughts in the back of her head like, I'm not good enough. People don't want what I have. I don't want to sell. Selling is icky, all those things. And
mhm,
so when we rewired that and created a new meaning and rewrote the story, she started showing up differently. She had different energy and she started selling her products. And it's
mhm,
just tracing those patterns back, rewriting the story so that it's something that serves you versus um something that's not serving you at all.
mhm.
Oh, what? There was
Um,
actually a weight loss client that I had. It'll probably be a little bit more relatable.
yeah.
There was a client that I had who in the past she was always called fat by everybody.
Mhm,
And when we traced that back, it was just she had to be perfect. She had to eat perfect. She had to um she was always worried about what other people would think. And so when she started out on she wanted to lose weight, she was always on that yo-yo diet. And when
mhm,
she wanted to lose weight, she would always go back to what she felt was safe and comfortable. And
mhm,
that was not doing what she wanted to do because of the thoughts that she had created in her head based on past experiences.
mhm.
And so when we rewire those stories and those past experiences and those behaviors, she started actually to do the thing.
Anyway, okay, so weight loss. You have you have used this rewiring, I'm sorry, subconscious rewiring with weight loss clients. That's where you actually started, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Do you see, like, a pattern? Not a pattern, but like what would be the most common thing that you find that those clients get stuck in, to the point that they don't, either they keep gaining the weight back when they lose it, or they don't lose the weight? Have you seen that there's like this one or two things that usually come up?
Something that is across the board is that when we start to talk about what
Mhm.
they want to lose weight. And so
Mhm.
wanting to lose weight is actually wrapped in lack instead of abundance. And
Okay.
so is it that you want to lose weight? Or is it that you want to feel better than you ever have in your life and you wanna turn on your
Mm.
husband again? Because those are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
And so when people set goals of losing weight, sure, I know where you're going with it, but is that all you want? You just wanna lose weight? Or is there something bigger?
Yeah.
And when you're able to draw out that bigger thing and that core reason of
Mhm.
why you're doing what you're doing, it's like everything changes. You just snap into action because you
Mhm.
realize that there's a deeper reason that you actually wanna lose the weight.
Yes. Okay. I love this because I do get into this with my clients. And basically, what I tell them is like, nobody cares to lose weight. Like, you think you do, but you don't, because if I tell you that I could help you lose this weight that you want in a week, but you're going to look exactly the same and you're going to feel exactly the same. Do you care to lose that weight?
Mhm.
Usually it's a no, because it's not what they're really looking for. And so that's where we start to get into, well, if that's not it, then what is it that you do really want? And what do you think that
Mhm.
losing weight is going to give you? And that's where it actually gets fun, for me, because it gets interesting and it gets to deeper, more emotionally connected ideas, beliefs, realities that they're living. And then we start to change. And I like to say we're not going to actually uh negate that whatever you think is or is not, but like we're going to question it and we're going to expand your reality. So we know that there is other options and then there's other opportunities. Maybe you're not seeing them right now, but maybe we want to start to move your attention to different um areas, different opportunities that will give you a different result. So, yeah, and it starts with exactly what you said, but you said it more concise and beautifully than I did. I
Yeah,
just
I
get
mean, you're totally right. It's just like you said it perfectly. Like you become more expansive instead of constantly focusing on I want to lose weight, because what you focus on, where you put your energy, what does Tony Robbins say? Where your energy goes, what is it called?
where your
Where
attention
your
goes,
energy
your
goes,
energy
where
flows.
your attention goes, your energy flows.
Yeah.
If your focus is on I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, your attention is on lack, 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 lack. And you said
Yeah.
it beautifully. Like when you start focusing your attention on the expansiveness, on what you
Mhm.
actually want and what that losing weight is going to give you or do
Mhm.
for you, that's when like the whole world opens up to more possibilities. And when you have more possibilities, you have more choices.
Mhm. And that gets more exciting. Um yeah,
Yeah.
in okay. So we're talking here about what happens inside your mind. What is driving the 95% of your actions is what goes inside your mind and subconscious mind, to be more precise. But there's also a part of us that is emotional. We're talking about feelings and how this also affects um, our our actions, basically our decisions. And to be more specific, is when we feel uncomfortable, sad, angry, stressed, tired, anything that is not a pleasant feeling, whether it's physical or emotional, we tend to make different decisions than when we are feeling something pleasant like happiness, joy, excitement. And this feelings and emotions, they're connected to what we're living, to our experience, but they're not necessarily due to our experiences. um
Mhm.
yeah, so okay, help me translate that. Because I
I
want
think
to.
what you're trying to say is that is are you trying to say this like people's emotions are on a lesser scale, meaning it's more of like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. Emotions
Okay.
like that
Hmm.
versus emotions like abundance, freedom, happiness, exuberance, excitement, those kinds of things. And so when you make choices when you're not at a higher emotion,
Hmm.
you don't end up actually getting what you want. And so what happens is people are like, "Oh, well, I'm just supposed to be happy all the time and I'll magically lose weight." Like I don't think that's necessarily the answer here because that's like fake positivity.
Right, right.
You know? But it's like at the same time, a lot of people live for the future based on what they have been able to achieve in the past.
Hmm. It's
you
a
know,
thing.
and you're when you're living your life based on things that happened in the past that may or may not have gone well, it's like, well, how expansive is your future? How excited are you to, eat healthy every day if at your subconscious behaviors are like, well, it hasn't worked before, or
Mhm,
I've already tried this.
mhm.
And when you've got those little things in the back of your head, it's like crabs in a bucket. Have you ever heard the crabs in a bucket story? Like one crab can get out, but one crab tries to get out and like all the rest of the crabs try to pull him back in and then the crab can't get out. And that's
Mm,
kind of what happens because if you've got these thoughts in the back of your head, like, well, it hasn't worked before. Why would it work for me? I'm not the
well,
type of person that can lose weight. And you've got all these things that are going on subconsciously. Of course, you're going to pull yourself right back down to what's comfortable.
so I have a theory there. That if you're constantly thinking that you're always trying to lose weight, even when you lose the weight, you have to gain it back because you have attached your identity to the person that is always trying to lose weight.
Hmm.
I mean, I think it's true. I haven't done any studies on it,
Yeah.
but it's also how you attach like what you adopt as your identity is what you think you are. You can change that at any moment, and it's, I mean, easier said than done, but still, just having the knowledge, the awareness of the possibility that that it is a possibility for you, then you can start to see the opportunities for that. One of the things that really affects that I see women um, really struggling with is just emotional regulation and stress, because it really creates a hormonal imbalance that lead to weight gain as one of the symptoms. And these are women that are type A personalities, and they are go getters, and they read the books and they listen to the podcast, and they are going in and out of diets, and they are really actually taking action. They're genuinely trying to better themselves and lose the weight. But they're stuck in that loop. And I'm wondering if within your Batman belt of tools that you have, is there something that you would use to work with these women to get them like unstuck of that loop um of I'm working on they're working on the wrong thing. Basically, I see them, they got the good like food diet, they exercise sometimes more than they need to, but they're completely forgetting about regulating their emotions, their stress, and how they balance their I don't even know what to call it. Other than emotions, so they can be a um in a living mode instead of survival mode. There we go.
Mhm.
So, is
Mhm.
there anything that you would use with that type of um diagnosis?
Yeah, it's a big question,
Yeah.
and I say big, and that's only because everybody is different, and it's not necessarily do this for this problem across the board because it's not always like that. It would be great if it was like here, take a pill, and that it would just work.
Mhm.
But there's things that I do like clearing negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. When was the first time you felt anger? When was the first time you felt
Yeah.
sadness, hurt, and guilt? And we clear those emotions throughout your entire timeline. EFT, I also use a lot, and that stands for emotional freedom technique. And that's where we tap on different meridian points of the body and we release that particular emotion. There's also hypnosis works really well
Mhm.
for releasing different emotions too and starting to rewire that subconscious programming. Hypnosis is wonderful for that. So it just depends upon where those emotions are come from, the core root of those things. They might not even be that person's emotions. They could be I mean, I've done work with people where it's just generations past. This is how they were generations past, and those emotions have just traveled down the DNA, and now they have these emotions too. And so it's just about learning about where those emotions are coming from, and why you're choosing to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't, they're giving you something. If they didn't give you something, you wouldn't do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's one of the things that, I talk about with my clients a lot. It's like, well, why are you procrastinating? Because it's giving you something. It's keeping you
Mm-hmm.
safe somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we can figure out what that is, then we can release it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just keep going in the loop.
That's true. And I say that because I experience it. All
Yeah,
right.
I
So,
did too.
is there anything that I haven't asked you that you think would be of value to my audience, which are all those ladies and that kind of scenario that I just explained?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, honestly, and it literally is step one.
Mhm.
It's just the watching, being cognizant of the words that you use to describe your experience.
Mhm.
Because just saying lose weight, there's such a heaviness in lose weight. Even just if you say release weight would make it better. Because
Mhm.
the words you use to describe your experience become your experience. And is it that you want to lose 25 pounds, or what is it that you actually want? Is it that you want to be able to get on the floor and play with your kids? Because
Mhm.
those are going to have two very different outcomes and two very different thought patterns. And when you can figure out what that core reason is that you're doing what you're doing, action becomes so much easier. Consistent action becomes so much easier.
That is beautiful. Okay. If there was something that they could start doing today, like this one thing, like the easiest step they could take today, what would it be to changing that wording?
Most people go through life running away from what they don't want.
Mhm.
I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want to be single anymore. And something that's really, really easy is connecting with what it is you do want.
Mm.
Because what happens is, you go through life like, I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want to be over. Well, of course it's going to keep you in like this icky feeling, because the start stop thing, but like, what do you want? And when you use, that's called towards motivation versus away motivation. And
Mhm.
so you want to find out what your towards motivation is and what it is actually that you want. And I guarantee it ain't losing 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that's a very tough question to answer for a lot of us. Cause we're so used to, again, as you said, like running
Away motivation.
away
Yeah.
motivation.
Towards motivation or away motivation. You're either running towards what you want or away from what you don't want. And
Yeah.
most people in life are running away from what they don't want.
And I find that a simple way to do it, maybe not the best, but like just to start is to do that list that you already know of everything you don't want. And then
Mhm.
just write the opposite on the side. And that might not be
Mhm.
exactly what you want, but it gives you an idea of where you would be towarding to, like running to, walking to. And then you
Most
can.
people don't remember how to dream. Most people don't know how to dream. They're stuck in what society says they can have, what they think is available to them, how much money they have, and they are capped at their current thinking.
Mhm.
But what would happen if you went back to when you were 7 years old and you were Wonder Woman, you were the president, you were the Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz all at once, and you owned it,
Mhm.
but then we get older and society says sit down, shut up, get straight A's or you're out. And we
Mhm.
put a cap on our potential. But we all have so much more potential if we just allow ourselves to dream like a little kid. And if the answer was yes, what would you want? If the answer was always yes, what would you want? What
Yeah,
else? What else? What else? And ask yourself what else 7 times to get down to the nitty-gritty.
until it gets a little emotional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did
Yeah,
did
because
you
that's going to pull you towards what you want instead of away from what you don't want.
Yeah, yeah. We forget about that. Did you ever hear of the study that NASA did to find geniuses? And they went into I don't know if it was like a kindergarten or little older kids, but just really, really small children. And they did a test on who was a genius. And most of the kids who they tested were geniuses or qualified as geniuses. And they did the, um, uh, I'm sure it was a little modified to their age, a test again. And each time when they did the test, the percentage of geniuses would get smaller. So basically, they determined that everyone's born a genius, and society makes them into not geniuses.
Mhm.
And I think that that's how it relates, kids have like infinite possibilities because they're just learning what reality is. And then they they get that box where you're like, nope, that's not real. This is real. Get your straight A's and
Mhm.
pass your grades, go to college, get a good job, and save your money, buy a house, have
Yeah.
family, etc., etc. And then to get out of that box, it just becomes the new challenge. But I think we're getting to it. We're getting to it. I
Mhm.
think we're in a age or stage of human life where we're starting to um, more of us are starting to wake up to
Yeah.
that
Like, what if there
world.
was no box?
Exactly.
What if there's no box?
There's no box. Just take the box. Just get out of the box. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jen, this has been fun. It's been very pleasant. I was I don't know. I was half nervous, and then I was like just 10%, and now we're here, and I'm just like 2%.
Just like
But
talking to an old friend, right?
it's like, yeah. But you know what it is, and here's like maybe you can like point at the box here, but like there is a certain idea that I have of everyone, but this includes you. And then um how you show up with everyone, how you show up with each person. And the reality is that I know that I can just show up as myself with you, but then there's always this in the back
Mhm.
of my mind, is being yourself good, And I mean, it's something that I guess it's part of that, box that I'm still like working with. But
What
aside from
if
the
it
point.
was okay? And I'm gonna I'm gonna go on the coach rabbit hole here. What if what if what if we all wanted you to just let your freak flag fly?
Freak.
And we were waiting for it.
Or just jonesing for it. You know? I guess we'll find
Yeah.
out. I will
Yeah.
bring out the flag and see how many people say yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll I'll stick around to watch that.
Take off the mask. Take off the mask.
Jen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Actually, tell us if anybody wants to find you, how can they do that? And also,
Yeah, come
what do you
say hi on
offer?
Instagram. That's where I'm spend most of my time. Not lately here because I've got some other projects that I'm working on, but my go-to is usually Instagram at I am Jen Lemke.
Awesome. Anything that you
Easy
want
peasy.
to promote? I know it's
You know what? I would just love to hear from somebody that listened to the episode and be like, just come and say hi.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So
You know?
we'll link
I
your
appreciate you.
we'll link your
that?
Instagram on the show notes, and you can go say hi to Jen and let her know how
Please
this
do.
episode impacted you. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope it brought you a boost to your day. If you don't want to miss what's next, hit subscribe and come along for the ride. See you next time.